This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
The world's toughest rally will make its long-awaited comeback to the stage it belongs when Kenya hosts Africa's round of the World Rally Championships in 2021. The historic and celebrated Safari Rally was due to return to the WRC this year, but the pandemic saw it pushed forward to the 16th to the 19th of July. Sports Scene is now proud to present to you a CGTN Africa special production. Safari Rally Magic returns to the WRC on location from Naivasha, Kenya. Buckle up and let's shift the gears.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Sports Scene. I'm Mahir Mutua on location at the Hell's Gate National Park, where the Safari Rally will finally make its grand comeback to the world stage. Kenya's iconic Safari Rally is scheduled to rumble back onto these roads and the WRC calendar in 2021. After a long hiatus of 19 years made that much longer by the coronavirus pandemic, CGTN's Mohammed Abubakar now tells us about the magic of the Safari Rally.
The Safari Rally is the most iconic and oldest motorsport event in Africa.
The first safari was held in 1953 to celebrate the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. And since 1953, the safari has been held every year traditionally, with an exception of 2020. And obviously it's because of the pandemic.
In its 67-year history, the Safari Rally rose to become a national staple and an international wonder. The event gained global attention in 1973 when it was included as the only African leg of the World Rally Championship. The Safari stood out as the most difficult WRC event to win and also the most valuable victory on the circuit. Its run as the centerpiece of the rallying world came to an end in 2002 when it was excluded from the WRC calendar due to a lack of financial guarantees and safety concerns. In 2019, after 18 long years, the FIA announced the Safari was back to the WRC roster for an initial 3-year period from 2020 to 2022. The news brought nostalgic remembrance of an event that gave most Kenyans childhood memories to cherish and the world a magical rally to behold.
My life has come round like a wheel because it was with nostalgia when we remember that it is actually in this area that I covered the last Safari Rally in 2002, and then a few months later we were told that we were out of the championship. So last year, when on September 27th, it was announced that actually the Safari is back to the championship. I felt very good.
Part of this process was that we, together with the FIA, and you know that the presidential thought is also strongly supporting this concept to come back, was that we are not in Africa with the championship at all, as we are not in other continents. So going a bit more outside of Europe into new areas is part of our philosophy. And then we identify these markets. Africa is one of those markets that is in any case attractive for us because we know there's a big passion of motorsports.
The organizers, however, are still burning the midnight oil to ensure the Safari recaptures the allure of old.
The Safari is part of Kenya's heritage, and we want to use the Safari as an identity for this country. So we want that event to resonate. I mean, when we talk about the Safari, we want to think about Kenya. We want to think about Africa. We want to think about our wildlife. We want to think about flora and fauna. We want to think about the beauty.
The return of the Safari Rally to the WRC will reunite drivers and crew with the magic of high-octane motor racing combined with rich African wildlife they last experienced in 2002. And after the postponement of this year's event due to the coronavirus pandemic, one more year is certainly worth the wait. Mohamed Abubakar for CGTN, Naivasha, Kenya.
Let's now take a trip down to South Africa, where despite its status as an undisputed leader of motorsport here on the continent, the country is still yet to produce a female driver. But now, with the prospect of Africa hosting the WRC, interest has been piqued among women like Letseho Zulu, who's fast gaining a reputation as an expert navigator. CGTN's Julie Shire now reports.
Letseho Zulu was a natural from the first moment she got into a racing car 2 years ago. She's teamed up with veteran racer Terrence Marsh as an off-road navigator.
What ticks me is the thrill, it's the adventure, it's the intense office that navigating really is. I need to keep the car safe, I need to make sure that I give him the correct instructions in order for us to make it from the start to the finish.
From the first time I ever sat in the car with her, it's just the confidence, the gelled, her ability to take things, her ability to make decisions. So it was kind of a natural transition, and when I look back, it was like when I looked at getting somebody to sit on a more permanent basis, I couldn't think of anybody better.
Zulu's hoping to one day take the wheel herself, possibly as South Africa's first female rally driver.
Now that I've had a taste of motorsport, I want to see how far I can go. I'm one of those ambitious people that literally always says the sky's the limit. So, I can speak for myself and say I look forward to pushing myself and going as far as I can.
The brave navigator has set her sights on competing in Kenya's Safari Rally, which has been pushed until next year because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I definitely think that the return of the Safari Rally to the continent will draw more interest in the sport, and hopefully more young people interested in the sport, like myself. Who knows, one day I might just be a competitor in the Safari Rally.
Off-road racers have eagerly awaited the return of Kenya's world-famous rally for 2 decades. Despite the delay, they're confident that being included on the global circuit again will boost racing on the continent. Julie Shire, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Tanzanian crews have been part of the WRC's Safari Rally and its predecessor, the East Africa Rally, for decades. Now the return of the WRC has spiked interest among leading Tanzanian drivers who've expressed their desire to return to the Safari Rally next year. CGTN's Isaac Lukando now reports.
Tanzania's 2019 rally champion, Tufale, has always loved racing. His father's participation in the East African Safari Rally gave him a deep respect for the event.
Not just some random guy getting in the car and, pushing it for 200-300 kilometers. It's not easy. It's something, it's a big boy, it's a man thing, not a boy's thing, the Safari Rally.
Car enthusiasts in the country are excited about the return of the Safari Rally to the World Rally Championship. They believe watching the event will be a great experience.
It's truly a great attraction because you get quite an experience. Some of the things we just see on TV. We see the speed of the cars, but seeing it live with all the technology would be indeed thrilling.
The Safari Rally was excluded from the World Rally Championship calendar due to a lack of finance and organization in 2003. It was part of the African Rally Championship until 2019.
Following readmission to the World Rally Championship calendar, the Safari Rally was due to take place in July this year. Postponement to 2021 due to COVID-19 does not seem to have dampened the enthusiasm of Tanzanian rally fans who hope that one of their own can take part in one of Africa's most prestigious rallies.
While not sure about Tanzania's chances of success in the event, one motorsport analyst is sure that taking part will impact motorsport in the country.
Taking part is one thing and winning is another, but just taking part is something. When a Tanzanian waves the country's flag at the flag-off, many will travel to go and see him, because many rallies have taken place in Kenya and Tanzanian drivers have taken part. But when people see one of their own, they're drawn to see their fellow countryman, their star.
Tufail is eager to take part in the Safari Rally next year. He says there's only one thing standing between him and his goal.
For me, I guess it would be a dream come true, but unfortunately the budget is ridiculously crazy. It's way out of our budgets, but if I do manage to secure a sponsor, then 100% I'm going to take part in it.
As Tufail goes through his many trophies, he remains hopeful that one more rally victory may be within his reach. Isaac Lukando, CGTN, Dar es Salaam.
Coming up, Safari Rally local organizers fine-tuning preparations despite pandemic lockdown.
Africa is a continent of diversity, with varied climates and enchanting geography, and a people so distinct, but with a shared enduring spirit. We are at the heart of the continent to bring you the untold stories.
Let's have a look.
We celebrate Africa as it shapes its own destiny.
I've been Shirushi, Tunis, Cairo, Juba, Johannesburg, Ethiopia, Tanzania.
Africa Live. Find your voice.
The greatest journeys, the greatest sights, the greatest adventures.
Here in Qanater, this weir allows the locals to walk on water.
We're far more than just TV news. We're your passport to the wonders of Africa.
To bring you stories of struggle, survival and hope.
So let's explore. CGTN. See the difference. How would you create your legend? On the fields, on the tracks, in the arenas of Africa. Were you born to be a player? Could this moment be yours? Sports Scene. Find your game.
The global pandemic has forced the return of Kenya's iconic Safari Rally to the World Rally Championship calendar to be delayed by a whole year. However, organizers have taken this setback in their stride as they now prepare for the grand comeback. CGTN's Mohammed Abubakar once again.
We are committed, and I repeat again, committed to meeting all International Automobile Federation regulations, standards, requirements, so that Kenya may once again feature at the apex of global rallying.
Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta made this bold promise in July at the start of the 2019 Safari Rally that was a WRC candidate event. It was the strongest indication yet that the event was nearing a comeback to the apex of world rallying after 18 years in the cold. On the 27th of September, the Safari Rally was formally admitted back to the WRC fold but the planned return in 2020 was deferred due to the pandemic. But for the purists of the sport, the 2021 edition will be markedly different from the bone-breaking safari of old.
In our days, and I competed for many years in the safari, in the old format, when it was 5,000 kilometers, we used to run on open roads. We used to drive day and night. We used to service cars by the roadside. All these things are normal. The safari is going to be run along what I would call private or closed roads. That will take us into conservancies and farmlands on the floor of the Rift Valley. These days, the service park is a crucial part of any event. The cars are only serviced at one central point. Now that means the cars have got to run in a clover setup where they're able to come back anytime they leave for refueling, mechanical checks, repairs, and so on.
Following the super special stage that will be held at the Moi International Sports Centre in Nairobi at the start, the rest of the action will move to the Great Rift Valley. The service park will be located inside the Kenya Wildlife Service Training Institute in the region, giving teams and fans a safari experience in the spirit of its rich heritage.
All other areas, as you would see, we have not interfered with any fauna and flora. And even as we work, we do have quite a lot of wildlife within this institute. We have the giraffe, we have eland, we have impala, we have zebra. The buffalo will sometimes migrate from the lake and come up, but not very often. You know, it's a safari in the wilds, and they're looking forward to having it.
The WRC season recently resumed after months of lockdown due to the coronavirus pandemic, and the countdown to next year's Safari Rally has begun. Mohamed Abubakar, CGTN.
Ian Duncan is one of Kenya's most successful rally drivers and an all-round motorsports star. He's also the last African to win the WRC Safari Rally title back in 1994. CGTN caught up with the veteran rally driver and got his thoughts of the return of the WRC to Kenya.
Well, we had many great years. I mean, we did a real lot of rallies, safari rallies. I don't even remember how many. Winning was obviously a good memory for us to always remember. But even like the first podium, the first works drive we got, we had lots of really good memories and some really great fun times. The rallies changed a lot, some due to necessity, some maybe being forced by WRC, maybe for the better, maybe not. I mean, in the old days, you'd drive 6,000-7,000 kilometers all around the country, and there wasn't so many matatus, there was no borders. It was a lot easier to do open road rallying. Of course, that had to change for safety. So it did change a lot. But I think this one, when we have it, will be really exciting to watch. It could be maybe one of the most exciting to watch that Kenya's seen. Not really. In the old days, it was such a benefit to have a local knowledge. It's like you travel all the way around the countryside. It would be rainy, it would be hot. You'd have to know the conditions, and no matter how much you tried, the route was always a little bit different from when you went on recce. Now with it so short and the time is so it's such a close time from when you do recce to when you're rallying. So that local advantage has gone. So if a Kenyan wanted to do well in WRC, he'd have to go and start doing all the WRC events and learn how to drive those cars. And see, no one here has a WRC car. We have R5s, but they're not as quick, and the balance is probably slightly different. And so it would take years and years of training.
Zimbabwe rally legend Conrad Rautenbach believes the return of the Safari Rally to the WRC calendar will finally give African drivers the chance to shine. Rautenbach won the iconic rally back in 2007 and fondly holds memories of his victory. CGTN's Farai Mwakutuya tells us more.
I think this is South Africa.
Though his Safari Rally victory was 13 years ago, the memories of triumph against the odds are still fresh.
We were 6 guys in total, myself, a navigator, and our mechanics, and that all Zimbabweans. I think it took us 3 days to drive up to Kenya, or 4 days with a car and that. So it was more of like an adventure, and it was great to go and beat the factory teams or the sponsored teams from Europe and all over.
Rautenbach won en route to his first African Rally crown in 2007. By that time, he had already spent 3 years on the World Rally Championship circuit. He's welcomed the Safari Rally's reinstatement to the international rally calendar.
The World Championships evolved quite a lot now, and it's a lot more, like I said, like a sprint race instead of the endurance. And I think the FIA, the ruling body, they were trying to bring it back to more of its roots, rallying and more endurance, and that's why they want the Safari Rally. And it's also because of the history. Everyone has got very fond memories of the Safari Rally and rally cars and with animals in the background, or Mount Kilimanjaro. That's what you think of when you think of rallying.
The Zimbabwean rallying ace believes the return of the Safari to the World Rally Championship will make local drivers across Africa more competitive.
To be successful, you have to move overseas to Europe or something to go compete. The first step is South Africa. That's the most sort of competitive, but if you want to compete in the world stage, you almost have to move abroad to do that, to Europe or something, which is a shame, because it's you don't bring the skills and the knowledge back here to Africa. So it's a shame. But with bringing the Safari Rally back, that's the first step.
Family and work have put the brakes on Rautenbach's rallying career, but one challenge could lure him back behind the wheel: the Dakar.
I did it 3 years ago with the Toyota team from South Africa, and then I got another chance last year in a smaller car and a buggy. So there we finished 4th. So in the first year with the Toyota team, we finished 9th and first rookie. So it's good, but to me it's unfinished business. So I'd love to try get a proper opportunity and give it a very good go.
Even if that doesn't happen, it won't diminish Rautenbach's standing as one of the superstars of African rally. Farai Mwakutuya, CGTN, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Still to come, Uganda rally drivers and fans keen on being part of history when the Safari Rally returns to the WRC.
Taken me completely out of my depth, but at the same time it's exciting. It's new, it's different, it's a challenge.
It's really exciting.
Over the last 14 hours of rain.
Ugandan rally drivers and their supporters have long been a staple of the rich history of the Safari Rally, even during its long stint away from the World Rally Championship. But now with its return to the global calendar, the excitement is kicking back up, as CGTN's Leon Senyange now reports from Kampala.
Another day of practice for Ronald Sebuguzi. The three-time National Rally champion had set his sights on winning this year's national title before all sports activities in Uganda were suspended. He also had plans of being part of Africa's biggest rally event, the Safari Rally in Kenya.
My biggest dream is to take part in the World Rally event. I was ready for this year, and if I have the finances, I'm sure I will participate.
The Safari Rally was last held as a wild event in 2002. It was, however, scheduled for a proper return this year. The COVID-19 crisis forced its cancellation. The Safari Rally in Kenya will make the long-awaited return to the World Rally Championship Series next year. For drivers and fans here, being part of the event will be a priceless experience. Motorsport is popular in Uganda. Competitions across the border are always an attraction too. There has always been a high expectation around the Safari Rally.
You have a mixture of everything. That is the most exciting thing. You have a lot of drivers from different continents, different cars, different driving styles.
I really wanted to enjoy the sections that I saw last time, and the very spot that I was in those sections.
The older version of the Safari Rally was notorious for being the most difficult rally to win, but changes to the stages and rally setup will make the rally a simpler, more thrilling event. Local rally officials think there will also be more to learn from Kenya's experience.
Most of these aspects in various departments are contained here, but the safety one is our challenge here. It's the one we have to learn. I think we have to borrow a leaf from the Kenyans.
No particular dates have been confirmed for the Safari next year. While the wait is on, Sebuguzi is covering more miles as he gets himself ready to take on the world's best drivers when they come to Africa. Leon Senyange, CGTN, Kampala, Uganda.
Thank you for joining us on this special edition of Sports Scene. I'm Mahia Mutua at the Hell's Gate National Park. We leave you now with some images capturing the special magic of the Safari Rally as the world awaits its return next year.